Is there a supernatural dimension? A world beyond the one we know? Is there life after death? Do angels exist? Can our dreams contain messages from heaven? Can we tap into ancient secrets of the supernatural? Are healing miracles real? Sid Roth has spent over 35 years researching the strange world of the supernatural. Join Sid for this edition of It's Supernatural.
Welcome to my world, where it's naturally supernatural. Buried in the library of the Vatican was an ancient 900-year-old prophecy which listed every pope for the next 112 popes. Well, we've had 111, and every single pope that had a prophetic word, and they all had it, that's what happened in their life. Amazing, stunning accuracy. Would you like to know what it says about the 112th pope? I'll tell you one thing. It says he will be the Pope for the final judgment. You know, Tom and Chris, your best-selling books, you made major predictions. I mean, you guys like to live a little dangerously. I mean, you went all out on the limb, and you stated, you predicted that in March of 2012, the Pope would resign for health reasons, and let's be candid, they missed it. Did you?
Well, at first, actually, we thought we might have. Now we learned that, in fact, we did not. We made a prediction that Benedict would retire in either March or April of 2012, citing health reasons. When that date came and went and no activity had transpired, we moved to the second part in our prediction, which we also made in 2012, that at a minimum he would retire before the end of 2013. Now we've learned, by the way, from the editor of the El Observatorio Romano, which is the Vatican's owned official media outlet, that in fact Pope Benedict officially resigned at the end of March 2012 privately to a handful of cardinals who held it in a strict reserve, in a confidence. It couldn't be told even to other cardinals. This happened last year. He made it official in 2013, so in a very supernatural, dramatic way, we were actually right in both instances.
But speaking about being right, I am fascinated about this 900-year-old prophecy from this Saint Malachi. Tell me about these prophecies.
Well, the prophecy of the popes was allegedly given to Saint Malachi Morgare, an Irish saint, in 1139 A.D. Now, the way that this story is told, Malachi made a pilgrimage to Rome to see the Pope, and right outside of the city of Rome, he had a vision of all the popes up until the tribulation period. So he wrote down a series of short Latin phrases for 112 popes, except the last one, which is quite a bit more detailed. The last prophecy, the prophecy for the very next pope, says, "In the extreme persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit Peter the Roman, who will nourish the sheep in many tribulations. When they are finished, the city of 7 hills will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge his people."
Now, I've gotten to know the two of you, and you are such, Chris, a theologian, so after truth. You've analyzed all of these prophecies for all 112 popes. Tell me one, pull one out about one pope that you felt was amazing. And but even beyond that, were they all on the money or not?
Well, Sid, I'll tell you, when I began to investigate this prophecy, I was not predisposed to believe it. I'm not a Catholic, I'm a Protestant, but I wanted to take a critical, skeptical kind of look at it. Now, some of them seem a little vague to me. Some of them seem to speak to the coat of arms of a pope or events during his papacy. But the ones that are accurate, the ones that make kind of a risky prediction, are so accurate that I really could not dismiss it. And I think it does beg us to take it seriously. For instance, there was one prophecy in particular that grabbed my attention. This was for Benedict XV. Now, he was pope from 1914 to 1922, and the Latin phrase was religio depopulata. Now, that means religion depopulated in English. So what happened between 1914 and 1922? We had World War I, which is devastating to Europe, devastating to the Catholic Church. But to add insult to injury, you had the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia, where 200 million people left the church to join the Communist Party. Those that didn't leave, Lenin targeted them specifically to eliminate them. So religion was depopulated probably more than any other period in history up until that time. And this prophecy nailed it.
Now, why do you say that this will be the last pope?
It's the last one on Malachi's list. And I just cited the prediction for this pope. It says, in the extreme persecution, the tribulation, the dreadful judge will judge the people. So it really does sound like the end times. And it matches the book of Revelation in some pretty compelling ways in chapter 17, which also speaks of a seven-hilled city.
I'm going to tell you something. At first, when I heard about this, I didn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. But after talking to them on the phone, looking at their research, understanding their brilliance in their respective fields, I feel that what you're about ready to hear will change your paradigm for end times forever. For instance, they investigated secret files from the Vatican that shows that the Vatican has been in communication and been researching aliens from other planets that strongly affect your whole understanding of the last days. We'll be right back after this word.
Could this new pope, Pope Francis of Italian descent, be the last pope that was predicted in a 900-year-old manuscript? And will he be the one to usher in a one-world New Age religion? More on It's Supernatural when we return with Tom Horn and Cris Putnam.